Are you struggling to clear jumps, feeling like a bit of a passenger in the air? Well then fear not, I've got a great video today with some top tips and some reasons why you may not be clearing them quite as well as possible. Damn it, so close. If you find yourself landing heavily on the back wheel or maybe in the middle of the jump, not quite going far enough, unfortunately, I gotta break it to you, you are casing it. Eesh. There's a few reasons this might be happening. First up, you just haven't got enough speed. You need to go a little bit quicker to go a little bit further and make it to that nice backside of the landing. Next up, a great tip actually to get that speed is following a friend in. Yes, if you got a friend who's clearing that jump all steezy like, well, just get a toe in. They're gonna give you a good idea just how much pace you're going to need. Another reason why you might be casing, you're just not popping. You gotta have the pop out the lip. Pop, boom, all the way. Yes, getting that compression and actually pinging out the top of the lip means you are gonna go in a little bit higher and send it a little bit further. Always a good one. Lastly then, it's also technique. Yeah, if your technique's a little bit off when it comes to actually doing a jump, it's gonna be much harder to clear it as well, causing you to come up short. There's a right and a wrong way. This is a wrong way. Oh, so close. And this is the correct way. And you can see it just gives you that little bit more height, that little bit more distance, and you go the whole way over. You make it to the sweet spot. Nice. Yep, you can definitely see a clear difference in the way these two jumps were executed. The first, well, not enough speed, a poor technique, not compressing into the lip properly, and popping out very well either. The second, well, much faster, much smoother, and flowing over that nice arc of the jump all the way to the sweet spot of the landing. Opposite to casing a jump then is over clearing it, overshooting a jump if you like. And that's landing past the sweet spot of the landing. So this is our jump here, this is our nice sweet spot, just past the very sort of knuckle of the top of the landing. You wanna be landing around here. You don't wanna be landing all the way down there. A few reasons this might happen is, well, you're a bit of a nervous Nelly. You don't wanna case it, especially if there's a gap in the middle. You definitely don't wanna be casing that, it's bad news. So you go really fast, you're like, rah, rah, or you just go sending it for miles. Well, I mean, one, it's gonna hurt because you're gonna be in for a really heavy landing. And two, if you're in sort of a rhythm section of jumps or on the trail, landing really heavy like that, it's actually gonna, well, it's just gonna wipe out all of your speed. So if you've got another jump or obstacle afterwards to clear, it's gonna be tricky. You can see here then a big old overshoot looks just like this. It's pretty uncomfortable. He's flown way past the landing. There's a big old head bob going on at the end, much like casing it, and it's gonna be really heavy on the wrists and the ankles too. This one now, look, sweet. He landed nicely, just nosing it into the landing, perfectly placing the bike where it needs to be and generating so much more speed and so much smoother as well. A spud hop then, what is that, I hear you asking? Well, it's where a rider usually lifts the rear wheel of the bike before it actually gets to the top of the lip. So usually just as the front wheel's leaving or at the top of the lip, the back end's picking up. And it's almost kind of like a nollie if you're a skater, where sort of the back end comes in the first. When you are jumping then, the front wheel should be coming off of that lip first before the back wheel then follows it after. Like we said in previous videos, you want to make that nice arc motion. If you do find the back end is picking up before the front's taken off the lip, it's a big old no-no. A reason for this could be, sadly, poor technique, in which case, back to basics. But don't worry, we've got some great videos where you can really learn to jump and absolutely nail it like a pro. Or clip pedals, because of the way you squat into the bike and then pick up, being attached to your pedals actually can pull the back end of the bike up early, which is kind of what you don't want. It can happen on flats too, but clips can be a bit of a stickler for it. Make sure that front wheel's going off the lip first and then the back wheel following nicely like a big old arc. So it'll be coming up, leveling out in the air and nosing her in. But like I said, we got some great videos you can learn that off. But for this is what it shouldn't look like. And this is exactly how it should look like. A great way to try and eliminate that back end picking up first, go back to basics and learn the simple bunny hop technique. So front wheel, back wheel, front wheel, back wheel. And that is just going to sort of ingrain it into you that you can then transfer across how you should roughly take that off the lip. Ahoy, me hearties! This next one's a terrible one, and it is the dead sailor. Yes, the dead sailor. I'm not sure where that came from. Is a terrible feeling. It's essentially when you take off of a lip, you take off a jump, something like this, and you just stiffen up in the air. Your arms sort of go, you're like, oh my God, am I gonna make it? You don't know. And that is essentially just dead sailor. You're in the air sailing. There are a few causes of the old dead sailor then. Number one, terror. Yes, you take off in your air and you're like, oh my God, I'm not gonna make it, or I'm going too far, and you basically just stiffen up. You go full dead mode, you are sailing, like I said, and it's like, no, life's flashing before your eyes. That can come from a few things. Overconfidence, maybe underconfidence in your ability. If that's the case, rein it in a little, get back onto a tabletop, a nice safe jump, and there you can just really nail that technique as well. Another reason, you don't follow the trajectory of the jump. So you go up it and that front end stays high and it's like, oh man, oh, I'm going out the back door here. Because you're just leaning back, so you just lock up. You're like, oh God, it's really tricky. You ain't got no panic throttle. It's like, not happening. The opposite is obviously the front end drops. So you get bucked forward. Maybe the rebound on your bike's a little bit too quick, or you just haven't quite got that technique, like I said, dialed yet. And again, you're just looking forwards, life's flashing before your eyes. And you just lock out basically to try and obviously absorb the impact or push the bike forward so that you're not fully front flipping. Best thing to do here, best thing to set sail to that dead sailor. Take it back to basics, get to a jump you know you're really comfortable on, you can build up your confidence. Tabletops are great for this, you can get the speed dialed and just really work on the technique. Feet coming off the pedals. If this is happening to you whilst jumping, then we got ourselves a little bit of a problem, but fear not, we can rectify it. Let's first identify it. Why it's happening. So if you're preloading into a jump and you are getting bucked forwards, sometimes the old spud hop can make this happen, where that back end's picking up too early or you're trying to pick it up too early. Your feet are going to come either off the pedals or potentially like shift all your weight forwards. Big old no-no. The other one as well is maybe just down to the technique again. You really want to compress, like that guy, into the takeoff and drop those heels so that you bounce out and your feet are going to really stay planted. A great way for practicing this is going back to basics, getting that bunny hop technique dialed where you'll really scoop into the pedals to lift and push the bike forward and level it out in the air. Not sure what that is, crazy little bunny arms. Oh, there we have it. They're nice to end on a good note, not crazy over the bars or anything like that. Well, hopefully I've helped you identify some of the reasons why you might not be jumping correctly, hopefully rectify them in the future. But for me, for now, the sun's out, so I am out of here. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, and I'll catch you later.